Are you sick and tired of feeling dumb? And like there's no way on this entire planet you are going to get the entirety of GCSE biology into your head? Well, no more, my friends, because I am here to tell you that you are not dumb, you've just been doing it wrong. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Izzy, a medical student currently taking a gap year, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my tips that completely saved my GCSE biology, so my grades went from this to this. This first tip completely changed the game for me, and it's read your notes out loud. Gone are the days where I'm sitting at my desk writing hours and hours and hours of notes that I'm never going to use and are an utter waste of my time. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab your textbook or revision guide or whatever resource it is you're using, and you're going to open it up to the topic that you need to start learning. You're going to start reading it to yourself out loud and explaining it in your own words as you go along. I don't know what it is, it literally works. I would do this the night before my exam if I was panicking that I didn't know anything and there was no way I was getting all of that content into my head. GCSE biology is so content heavy, and this method literally, it made my brain like a sponge, okay? It made me absorb information at a superhuman speed. Grab your revision guide or whatever textbook it is you're using.
Each element has its own kind of atom. An atom is the smallest particle of an element. Atoms consist of protons, neutrons, and electrons. Every atom has a tiny nucleus surrounded by a cloud of electrons.
Okay, that is a tiny weeny little paragraph in the book, okay? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just randomly explain that in whatever way. Allows it to stay in my head.
Okay, the tiniest particle of an element is an atom. The smallest thing of it is an atom. Either like oxygen or gold or silver, they each have their own unique kind of atom. Tiny nucleus, and around it is like the sun, and all around it is all the stars, which are the clouds of electrons.
So I'll explain it in whatever way I need to explain it, and it will stay in my head, guys, okay? It sounds absolutely crazy. How is me reading my notes out loud going to actually allow the information to stay in my head when I've been reading it in my head this entire time and it just hasn't? Just have faith, okay? Just try it. I promise it works. You could tell me in the comments, be like, Izzy, you're an absolute liar, this literally doesn't work, but I promise you it works. So try that. Read your notes out loud. That's the first thing that changed my life. Okay, now what you're going to do once you've done this first tip is you are going to write an extremely simple mind map on every subtopic that you've just learned. I used to revise from the CGP guide, and you know how on every double-sided page there's a new like subtopic? I would write just one A4 paper, and it would literally just have extremely simple bullet points on every little heading, and I would just say the key points of information that were actually in that little subheading. Even if you just read it out loud without having to like explain it to yourself, which you do have to do, the first part you have to explain it to yourself just to get it in your head. But if you just want to jog your memory, then literally just reading it out loud, these mind maps the night before your exam, will allow you to get all of the key pieces of information into your head, into your short-term memory, and it will cut through all of the waffle, saving you so much time so you can actually go through the entire, I think I literally would do like the entire GCSE biology. You can use a shorthand actually that only you understand. Like if I was reading my mind maps to someone else right now, God knows where they are, but no one would understand what they actually said because I would use shorthand to make it so much faster. This again saved so much time when I was reading through it because my brain would know what the shorthand meant. I wouldn't have to read the entire sentence, read all of the waffle that they say in these guides and in these textbooks, especially the textbook. I never used to revise for the textbook because there's so much waffle in there, guys. Why are they adding all these pointless sentences, thinking that they're literally funny when I just want to get a 9 in my GCSE? This is why, guys, sometimes you have to do more work to actually condense the content. Try this. Don't write notes. Do not write notes. Please, you will waste your time. If you're someone who can write notes and that actually works for you, I've personally never met one of those people. But if you really think that writing notes and reading them in your head has been working out for you, well, you're blessed, okay? Because I don't know anyone who that actually works for. So yeah, if you're most people, don't write notes. They're a waste of your time. Do this instead. I promise it works. Now, what is the fastest, most effective, scientifically proven way to get large quantities of information into your head in the shortest amount of time? Yeah, active recall. And I don't mean you guys need to spend hours and hours writing flashcards in order to get a 9 in your GCSE biology. But use some form of active recall. Once you've done all of the tips that I've mentioned previously in this video, just use some kind of active recall, like blurting is what I would do, or actually use pre-made Quizlet decks that are already on the internet, guys, just to test yourself and to check that you've actually retained the information and that you're doing it right. Because if it comes to active recall and you actually need a piece of paper with all of the information on it to actually know what you're talking about, then chances are you haven't actually retained as much information as you thought you have. So use some kind of active recall. Blurting, like I said, is one I really recommend, a good technique, which is basically where you get a blank piece of paper and you write absolutely everything you can about a subtopic or a topic, and then you check your revision guide and you see the parts that you missed out, add more information, you keep remembering more and more each time until, guess what, that information is in your head, and in the exam you're going to know exactly what to write and how to ask the questions. Another way I would use active recall, especially if I was getting bored in my revision, is me and my friends who did bio, we would just test each other on each of the topics, and just to make you feel more confident, because once you can do it without the actual textbook in front of you, you feel more confident, and confidence is literally 90% of how you're going to perform in an exam. So yeah, guys, trust the science, use some active recall. This will make a big difference, because I know it did for me. And I used to be one of these people, I doubted this stuff. I was like, nah, try it. It doesn't have to be flashcards. Now, this last tip literally saved my life, and it's something that I never thought was effective, but it works. YouTube videos. I would watch like a 30-minute video, usually in 2 times speeds. I don't know if this works for anyone else, but for me personally, I think it's my concentration. I couldn't listen to a video for actually half an hour. This person talking so slowly, like, okay, and then we have the cell with the nucleus, and then no, I fall asleep, I doze off, I start playing with something on my desk, I go get up, go get a snack, never come back. If you're like me, listen to the video in 2 times speed. You might actually think that you're not going to learn anything, but my attention will be like, zoom. If this video is going over the entirety of a topic, 15 minutes seems quite reasonable, you know, to have to sit and listen to someone explaining a topic to you. I would literally watch Primrose Kitten videos. She's actually really good. Like, the way that she kind of draws things out whilst talking, it just helps my brain to stay engaged, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to focus. YouTube videos are a great way to consolidate your knowledge. And if you're feeling like you actually don't understand a topic when you've sat down and you've tried the tips that I mentioned before, and it's not working out for you, and you're like, okay, I literally don't understand this, because sometimes there's no way to get around that. Like, you just don't understand it, you don't understand it. And explaining it to yourself 10 times over, you know, it might help that information stay in your head, but it's not going to help you understand the information. What will help you understand the information is if you go and watch a YouTube video and have a qualified teacher explain it to you, break it down into baby steps that it's not broken down to necessarily in the guide or the textbook that you're using. You can actually see where that information comes from, which is what understanding is. You can't expect to be given a piece of information and just trust it like it's the absolute truth. So go and watch a YouTube video to fill in those gaps. This will just help you so much when you're revising. Like, sometimes they'll bring up a topic and you'll be like, oh my god, oh my gosh, I literally forgot to revise that. It is a good way to check that you've actually gone over everything and that you actually understand everything. YouTube videos, they would help me so much. 2 times speed or 1.5 times speed, just to help me stay concentrated. Okay, and that's literally it, guys. Those are all of my tips that I promise helped me so much when it came to getting a 9 in my GCSE biology. If I hadn't followed these tips, I for sure would have been stuck on a 6 for the entirety of the course, and there would have been no way to get my grade up. I guarantee that at least one of these tips will make a difference for you in your revision. I promise, I literally promise, okay? Just try them. Your grades will be thanking yourself enough. Thank yourself later for implementing these tips and having clicked on this video. If you want to see how I got all 9s in my GCSEs and how I got a 9 in my GCSE maths, which was a highly requested video and very popular, because I know with maths it's actually hard to know what to do and to actually do well in maths, so go watch that. Let me know what videos you guys would like to see next in the comments. Yeah, like and subscribe for more content like this, but that's all I have for you guys today. See you next time. Bye.